Who's controlling the communication tools? This educational video is intended to draw attention to the problem of facilitator cueing in a technique called spelling to communicate. S2C, also known as rapid prompting method, is a variant of facilitated communication. These techniques build dependence on the facilitator, not independence for those being subjected to them. While it is not possible to determine the extent of clients' academic and communication skills from watching a video, it is possible to raise questions about physical, visual, and verbal cues facilitators provide their clients that appear to influence letter selection. Criticisms are directed toward FC as a technique and not the individuals being subjected to it. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment to help grow this project. Great life is ahead. In 2023, the Spellers Freedom Foundation produced a film called Spellers, a documercial for spelling to communicate and rapid prompting method. In one scene, Dawnmarie Gaivin holds a plastic stencil letterboard in the air, while her client Aydan holds a pencil and pokes at letters to spell out, "Great life is ahead."
All right, what do you think? What do you think of these new letterboards? Go for it. G, keep going. G, Q, keep going, Dory. R, N, keep going, move your eyes. I see you moving. E, N, eyes have to move around. G, R, E, what makes sense? What makes sense? G, R, E, keep your eyes. Ready? Leave me. Go. G, R, E. A. G, R, E, A. Great. Great. L, N. Make it make sense. I, N. Look for it, look for it, look for it, look for it, look for it. F, N. Great life, great life. What? I, N. Look for it, look for it, look for it, look for it. I, O. Doesn't make too much sense. Keep going. Hold on. Great life. I. Started I. Started I. So I have that I. Is. Great life is. G. G. Started G. G and keep going. Make it make sense. G. GJ doesn't make sense. So G. Great life is. What? You got this, buddy. Trust yourself. I love that. Great life is. Look at me for a sec. Can you put your eyes up here? Thank you. Great life is. Now look at the board. Go. Oh, A. Keep going. A and H and keep going. Keep going. E and move your eyes. Get that. A and move your eyes. Move your eyes. Move your eyes. D. Great life is ahead. Was my question.
Proponents like Dawnmarie claim that S2C and RPM messages are independent and free from facilitator control, but a closer examination of both the facilitators and clients' behaviors during the spelling session raised questions about authorship. Suggestion: before proceeding to the analysis, you may want to watch the video with and without sound to see if you can identify facilitator or client behaviors that give clues to facilitator influence over letter selection. You might ask, who selects the stencils to use, the facilitator or the client? Who controls the use of the pencil, the facilitator or client? Who initiates or ends spelling sessions? Do the letter selections appear purposeful or random? Does the client have the fine motor skills to select letters on his own? Does the facilitator provide physical cues during the session, for example, hand signals? Does the facilitator provide verbal cues during the session? Does the board move in the air? Do you think the facilitator counts all of the letters selected? Access to communication tools. In this example, the facilitator appears to control access to the letterboard by deciding which stencil to use and when Aydan can have it in front of him. It seems like if Aydan's spelling ability was truly independent, he could choose his own stencil. The facilitator also pulls the letterboard out of his reach. Proponents claim this is to reset the client's focus. But doesn't this increase the chance of facilitator interference with the communication process? What if the facilitator removes the board before the client has a chance to correct his or her own mistake? In addition, the facilitator controls when Aydan can have access to the pencil. Is there a logical reason why she has to use his pencil to write her notes? Shouldn't Aydan be signaling to the facilitator by picking up the pencil when he is ready to spell? Or at the end of the session, giving it to her to signal he is done? Physical cues. The facilitator appears to provide a number of hand signals and physical touch to cue her client. She appears to raise her hand to signal that the target letter is toward the top of the stencil. Note, she pulls the letterboard away when Aydan chooses the wrong letter. She points to the target letter. She appears to signal the direction for selecting letters by using a pointed finger and moving her hand within his peripheral range. She holds onto his hand at the wrist and touches his arm. She signals him to select a letter by pointing toward the board. And moves her finger in the direction she wants him to go. If Aydan's spelling is independent, why does the facilitator need to use hand signals and physical touch during the spelling session? And what does making Aydan look at her nose have to do with spelling? Moving the board. In theory, facilitators are able to hold the letterboard still in the air. However, despite facilitators' best efforts, there is a high probability that they will move the board up or down, left or right, and in or out, depending on the location of the desired letter. These movements are often attributed to the ideomotor response, or small, often non-conscious muscle movements. Most facilitators are unaware of the extent to which these movements aid letter selection. If, for example, the target letter is R, the facilitator will often non-consciously move the letterboard up and toward herself to make it easier for the client to select. In this clip, lines are inserted to mark the starting point of the letterboard. Note, Aydan selected Q instead of R. In another example, the target letter is I. So the facilitator non-consciously angles the letterboard down. Letterboard drift is inevitable, but can be prevented by putting the letterboard on a stand or other stable surface. For more information about the ideomotor response, also known as the Ouija board effect, please click the link in the description box below. Verbal cues. It appears verbal cues are integral to spelling to communicate, more so than in traditional touch-based facilitated communication. In the following examples, still images are substituted for the video to focus on the audio. Listen to how the facilitator varies her vocal tones. Sometimes she uses an even tone.
Go for it. G. Keep going.
Sometimes she uses a sing-song voice that appears to cue Aydan to keep poking at the letterboard with his pencil.
G, Q, keep going, Dory. R, and keep going, move your eyes. I see you moving. E, and.
And sometimes she raises the pitch of her voice in combination with hand signals that appear to signal she wants him to choose a letter higher up on the board.
Eyes have to move around. G, R, E. What makes sense? What makes sense? G, R, E. Keep your eyes ready. Look at me.
Here is the section of the clip where the facilitator coached Aydan to type GREA. But notice that he misses her physical and verbal cues to pick A and picks K instead. She pulls the letterboard away from him.
What do you think of these new letterboards? Go for it. G, keep going. G, Q, keep going, Dory. R, and keep going, move your eyes. I see you moving. E, and eyes have to move around. G, R, E. What makes sense? What makes sense? G, R, E.
If he could spell the word great independently, why did he misspell the word even with all the facilitator's physical and verbal gymnastics? What did he spell? The facilitator claims her client spelled great life is ahead, which brought tears to Aydan's mother's eyes. However, the facilitator does not appear to count all the letters Aydan chose during the session. At times he poked at letters out of the camera's view, so there's no way to tell what he selected and if those counted. In addition, the different camera angles make it impossible to determine if the spelling session happened all at once or if it took place over several sessions. If he knew how to spell the words, then why did they need so many edits? Target word, great. Aydan selected GQRREKAT. The facilitator took the board away twice, the pencil away once, and made him look at her nose once. In addition, there were 7 changes in camera angles while spelling the word great. Target word, life. Aydan selected LIF, unknown. The camera angle changed 3 times while he was spelling life, and they did not show him selecting the letter E on screen. Target word is. Aydan selected IOJIS. The facilitator took the letterboard and pencil away from Aydan once while he spelled is, and the camera angle changed 4 times. Target word, ahead. Aydan selected G unknown GJGSAHEAD. The facilitator took the board away 4 times, the pencil away 1 time, and made Aydan look at her nose once during the spelling of ahead. There were 5 different camera angles for this word. Great Life is Ahead has 16 characters. Aydan selected at least 26 letters during the session, plus at least 2 unknown letters off screen. In addition, the facilitator took the letterboard away 7 times, the pencil away 3 times, and made him look at her nose twice. And given that the camera angle changed 19 times during the final cut of this S2C session, it would be interesting to know why the director chose to make so many cuts during this one scene of the movie. Recap and conclusion. In a clip from the documercial Spellers, Dawnmarie Gaivin holds a letterboard in the air for her client Aydan as he attempts to spell Great Life is Ahead. Proponents claim that messages obtained using S2C are independent and free from facilitator control. However, questions of authorship arise when facilitators hold letterboards in the air, provide physical and verbal cues to aid in letter selection, may be inadvertent, control access to communication tools such as letterboards and pencils, selectively count or dismiss letters selected by the client, refuse to participate in reliably controlled tests to rule in or rule out facilitator influence or control. Movie review. For a review of Spellers by Dr. Catherine Beals, please click the link in the description box below the video. The science. To date, there is no scientifically rigorous evidence to prove facilitated communication, spelling to communicate, rapid prompting method, or any of their variants produce independent communication. Controlled studies show that facilitators, not their clients, are producing the typed messages. Many organizations oppose the use of facilitator-reliant techniques. These include, but are not limited to, American Speech-Language Hearing Association, American Association on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, American Psychological Association, Association for Behavior Analysis, Association for Science and Autism Treatment. FC is not science. For more information, please check out our website at facilitatedcommunication.org.